The Lost Bible. When a churchgoer lost her grandmother's heirloom Bible, she thought it was gone forever. But a strange set of circumstances led her to an unexpected discovery that made her question whether it was fate, or something far beyond that had brought it back to her. The loss of the heirloom Bible. Sarah had always been close to her grandmother. For years, the two of them spent countless hours together, reading scripture, discussing life, and embracing their shared faith. Her grandmother, a woman of great wisdom and devotion, had passed away years ago. But she left behind a treasure that Sarah had always cherished, her heirloom Bible. It wasn't just a book, it was a connection to her grandmother's life, a piece of her family's history, and a constant reminder of their shared faith. One Sunday afternoon, after a long church service, Sarah decided to bring the Bible to church. The new pastor had expressed interest in seeing it, and Sarah thought it would be a wonderful way to share the importance of her grandmother's legacy. But when she arrived at the church, she realized the Bible was missing. She retraced her steps, checking her car, her bag, and the house, nowhere to be found. Her heart sank. Days turned into weeks, and despite all her efforts to find it, the Bible remained lost. Sarah checked with the church's lost and found, and she even asked the congregation if anyone had seen it, but no one had. Eventually, she had to accept the bitter reality: the Bible was gone. She wasn't sure what hurt more, the loss of the book or the memories tied to it. She gave up searching and tried to move on, though it was never far from her thoughts. The unexpected return. Months passed. One evening, Sarah decided to take a walk around the church grounds to clear her mind. The seasons had changed, and the leaves were beginning to fall, crunching underfoot. She walked the familiar paths, lost in her thoughts, when something unusual caught her attention. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw a glimmer on the ground, a faint flash of gold. She stopped, her heart racing. The cemetery was nearby, but she hadn't expected anything to catch her eye here. As she approached the spot, the light grew clearer. There, half buried in the dirt, was the very Bible she had thought lost forever. It was unmistakable: the worn leather cover, the gold embossing on the spine, the faded yet familiar pages. She couldn't believe her eyes. How had it gotten here? The cemetery wasn't far from the church, but it didn't make sense. No one had seen her bring it to the grounds, and she was certain it hadn't been there earlier. The search for answers. The next day, Sarah returned to the church to ask around. She spoke to the staff, the churchgoers, and even the groundskeeper. No one had noticed anything unusual. The cemetery had been well maintained, and no one had walked through it recently. The Bible had been missing for months. How had it appeared there, out of nowhere? No one had a good answer, and the more Sarah thought about it, the stranger it seemed. There were no footprints leading to the spot, and the Bible wasn't buried deep in the ground. It had simply been lying there, waiting for her to find it. It felt as if someone had placed it there, but who? And why? The mystery deepened the more she thought about it. A spiritual realization. In the weeks that followed, Sarah began to reflect on the situation with a sense of peace that she hadn't expected. She had been so focused on the material loss of the Bible, she hadn't fully understood the deeper meaning behind its disappearance. Perhaps it wasn't about the physical object at all. Maybe it was about her connection to her grandmother and her faith. Losing the Bible had caused Sarah to grow emotionally and spiritually, and now that it had returned, she saw it not as an object, but as a symbol. She realized that she had always relied on that Bible for comfort, but perhaps God wanted her to learn something deeper, to trust in His timing and have faith, even when things seemed lost. The Bible's return was a sign, not just a coincidence, but a reminder of the power of faith and prayer, even when the answers don't come right away. A deeper connection. Sarah's experience with the Bible became something she would share with others. When asked about it, She would tell people about the strange way the Bible returned to her, and how she had come to understand the lesson it carried. The Bible had not only returned to her, but so had her sense of connection to her grandmother and her faith. It wasn't just a book, it was a miracle in itself, a reminder that sometimes, even in the most uncertain moments, God is at work. Though Sarah never found a clear explanation for how the Bible ended up in the cemetery, she didn't need one. The peace she found in its return was enough. Sometimes, faith doesn't need to be explained, it simply needs to be experienced.